I really just wanted to watch people play.
Right.
Like, it was something that like was so much fun to me. Like people are like, you want to play? Like, no, I'm cool just watching you guys play. Like I'm having. It was the same way with video games. Like I'd go over friends'
like that
houses
with video games now.
and watch people play video games. Like I just wanted to chill and watch. And like we'd play like strategy games and we'd try to figure out puzzles or even RPGs where it's like, all right. What did the guy in that town say? And trying to figure out. He said this, so go here, go here. Like, oh, really good. I didn't realize that. That kind of thing. Just sitting there helping somebody play an RPG, like that was great. Early '90s kind of stuff. But I don't really play video games or watch people play video games anymore. But anyway, I just love watching, and it's.
I guess we don't.
Yeah,
have...
we have a completely different match than was said. I'm not really sure what happened.
Oh well.
But we have Devin Koepke and Miles Bathon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those names correctly, but no idea what these guys are playing, so we'll have to all find out together.
Devin Koepke, Miles Bathon. That's how they would pronounce
So
it
I
in
see
Baltimore.
2 enlightened tutors, a Jace, a dual land, an engineered explosives, a planes, and something else there.
Tundra.
Well, I think that's what it is. Jace Tundra something.
Oh,
Could be
okay.
City of Traders. I don't know. I'm just.
You can't see.
I see very little of that card.
Devin's gonna go ahead and mulligan here.
Yeah, and I saw a Chalice of the Void, and it would look like a Memnite from Devin. I mean, I'm not entirely sure.
Attention players, in EDH number 7, I'm looking for Jason Weldon, Michael Doherty, Rob Vaca, and Clint Benesh. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
So for those of you just joining us, we're here in round
To the United
5
States, please.
of the legacy portion of the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Joey Pasco here with Big Head Joe, and we're all going to find out what these guys are playing together. Devin apparently on stacks. He saw Steel Hellkite and Trinisphere. Yeah, so that could give us some indication. This is round 5 of 8, so 3 more rounds, including this one, and then after this. I'm sorry, 3 more rounds after this one, and we'll be watching the top 8. So Devin leads on a Wasteland, and Miles has an Academy Ruins there. Leads on a Plains.
All right. Ball to Whispers there, Enlightened Tutor and a turn.
Right off with the Enlightened Tutor.
See a Thopter Foundry in Miles' deck. Another Thopter Foundry, Force of Will. And he's going to search up the Thopter Foundry.
We don't know why, but we know they switched. Okay, we have the deck list here.
All right, so Miles appears to be on a bit of a counter-top plan with Sword of the Meek and Thopter Foundry.
Maybe it's Dark Depths combo. Yeah, just kidding. There are no Dark Depths in the list.
Truth. Nice little Enlightened Tutor package here. Search up all kinds of stuff.
I see Counterbalance there.
There's Moat, Humility, Blood Moon, Ensnaring Bridge, Future Sight, Runed Halo, Pithing Needle, O-Ring, Engineered Explosives, all as one-ofs in the deck, as well as Sword of the Meek.
It's Counter Thopter Top.
Yep. Cool, this is the first stacks deck we've seen today.
Yeah,
And the first countertops deck.
Yeah, if you even this is like such a strange, it's a different version of like a typical countertop deck. So he's gonna run out the Thopter Foundry. What's that? Yes, it's an island. Island and a plains he's got.
No third land for Devin. Does not seem very good.
Miles very safe from the wasteland right now, although not for long, yeah.
But also, you don't even know if Devin wants to crack it.
Right, exactly. That's one of the reasons Miles is very safe from the wasteland right now.
basic lands didn't hurt, but yeah, if he's still not drawing that third land, he really.
He plays a Chalice on one, I want to say. Is that what
Yeah,
that?
Chalice of the Void, yeah.
And Miles responds by quickly playing a 1 cost so he can get something out of that Enlightened Tutor before it's dead in his hand.
Exactly.
He has the Sword of the Meek.
He's got his combo.
Yeah, that's
One of them.
that's one of the combos there in Miles's deck.
Pretty sure I saw a top in his hand too, so he's.
Yeah, that's not really something he can cast at instant speed, unfortunately. There is Academy Ruins. And
Down comes the sword. Now he can start dropping Thopters down. Finally, Devin gets his third land.
first time I heard about the Thopter Sword combo, people were suggesting it as an EDH. A thing for use in EDH, right? It was before it was even like taken seriously and extended.
Right.
Old extended.
Metalworker comes down, and based on the amount of cards in Devin's hand,
It could have a nice little impact.
completely turn it around.
All right, so Miles goes with the activating his combo, basically the Sword Thopter combo. So he's got some Thopters and gained a little bit of life, and one of those Thopters has a sword, completely different sword than we have been seeing all day yesterday. It's,
Again, they are not for decoration. They're for war.
all right, so Miles, I believe, has a engineer explosive and another, like a third engineer, enlightened tutor in his hand, I believe. There's a top. And it looks like he is going with I'll tap 4 and play a Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's good. That's a good
Bounce the
card.
Metalworker.
Yeah,
But he's not going
now
to.
he's going to brainstorm. And there's a 1 cost, a Pithing Needle, and a
Oh, he's got engineered explosives. He can drop
Yeah.
that for 0 and
Kill the Chalice.
yeah.
That's possibly what he's thinking about.
Which would allow him to stick his top. Or the Pithing Needle, for that matter. Yeah.
What about the Pithing Needle?
I'm saying it would allow him to be able to stick the Pithing Needle also
Oh,
if he
right,
gets rid
absolutely.
of that. So, quite a few 1-drops in his hand. Although, yeah, he's going to have to beat in with his tokens first. Here comes the Metalworker. Let's see how much mana he wants being able to produce. 12 mana. That's insane.
Yeah, that's the power of the Metalworker.
Yeah, definitely. And now he can just go to town. You know,
Yeah.
he could cast. He could cast Emrakul right now.
Yeah, this is why you bounce Metalworker with Jace. That's exactly what you suggested. I think, I'm on the same line of thought as you. It seems like, Devin was...
You gotta respect the Metalworker. You got
Right. I mean, I'm surprised couldn't he have Pithing Needle Metalworker?
to. That's what I'm thinking
Like,
about.
that's what I'm like, why
Right.
didn't you... Okay, so...
Doesn't
Plus
doesn't
the-
shut off mana abilities.
Okay, that's why. That's right. We just talked about this earlier
Right.
with Phyrexian Revoker. Right. So Worm Coil, Lodestone Golem. Good luck. I mean, yikes. I mean, he can get a ton of Thopters and swords, but they're both just gonna I don't know. Yes, you can untap your guys. Ooh. So, what are we gonna have here?
Everything costs so much for Miles right now.
Is that ensnaring bridge?
It sure is. Well, that will, it's a pretty fine answer, yeah.
Absolutely. Also doesn't cost more because of the lodestone golems. Nice,
Yeah.
nice little bonus there. Does not have to pay that extra.
I guess if there was one card that he would want to have in his hand at that moment. Must be nice, Miles.
This seems like a game one standoff that goes all the way to time, the way things are set up right now.
Well, I mean, he's got the flying creatures, so
He does.
He can just start
Just pinging
abusing
him with
his
the
combo
combos, right.
and abuse him.
The other thing, though, is, oh, yeah, never mind.
Now, you know, Devin can slow him down by, he's got a wasteland in his hand, he can slow him down by double wasting 2 of his lands, and that's what he's going to do. See, I can talk about legacy. Just kidding.
Still, that chalice is sitting there, and Miles has a hand, just 2 cards, and I believe it's a top and an Enlightened Tutor. I believe.
Did he ditch the pithing needle somewhere along the way?
That's a good point. Maybe it is still a needle in there. I definitely couldn't play it.
I definitely see a white border card.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. He does have Jace out there. Possibly put it back with Brainstorm.
That may be what he did. He's going to protect himself from any further wasteland shenanigans by searching up a basic land.
Seems like a fair idea, and also gets rid of some of those ones that he may have put on top, including that pithing needle.
Right.
And maybe just doesn't find it relevant. So now he's going to crack the explosives for the chalice. Also kills the Thopters.
But he can make more.
Yeah, he's got the factory. And he draws a Force of Will. Now he can play a top. Devin gives him the thumbs up. And looks like he is using top. Oh, finds a counterbalance.
His cards are all...
Yeah, everything's all flipped backwards and forwards. Hate when that happens. Oh, he brainstormed with Jace. I thought he was using the top.
Oh, right.
I forgot Jace was there because he's kind of halfway under that.
Yep. I guess in hindsight, it...
Seems like a better plan.
Yeah, well, I'm saying in hindsight, it seems like bouncing the metalworker wasn't, you know... I mean, he obviously knew he had the bridge, so...
Yeah, maybe that was what it was.
Figure, go ahead, play all your big dudes. They're never going to attack.
Got a grim monolith in Devin's hand. Metalworker adding a bunch of mana here. He says, I'll show you 4 artifacts. 8 mana there, and play out a chalice for... No, nicely put, so we can't read it. Can we get the number on the chalice?
He has to pay the 2 for the Force of Will.
Yeah. Probably doesn't matter. At this point, he did, he Force of Willed it.
Yeah.
Like you said, he did have to pay the 2 extra because of the lodestone golems, but free plus 2 isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Became a counterspell, lose a life, discard a card.
Yeah.
Slightly worse than a counterspell.
It still keeps him from being able to drop his Thopters and really start dealing some damage here.
That's true. Yeah, it was a nice way of, Devin still managing to keep Miles from creating an overwhelming force over there with of Thopters.
He's going to start on the Fate Seal plan here. feels like he has enough, board presence here to just take it out with what he's got.
How does this happen? How does one
I'm just going to really quick mention something about food time.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So at end of turn, we're going to get some Thopter tokens here. Gain a little life. Spin the top. Set up his next couple turns here. So there's an O-ring there, third from the, or that he put on the bottom of those three. Looks like there's, I don't see what Devin could really do here. Devin does have Staff of Domination, which is just now banned in EDH. He beats him with the two guys. This is game 1 of round 5. Grim Monolith, Trinosphere. Looks like a Mox Diamond, I believe, in his hand. It might be two Grim Monoliths, actually. O-ring, yep. O-ring, swords, Light and Tutor in hand. Devin's going to scoop him up, and we're going to go to game 2. Now for the sideboard here, it seems like, well, I don't know if Miles even changes much. He's got a nice tutor package that has most of his answers there. It doesn't seem like Canonist is too great against Devin. So Miles' sideboard is 3 Blue Elemental Blast, 3 Red Elemental Blast, 3 Spell Pierce, 3 Fire Spouts, 1 Canonist, 1 Tormod's Crypt, 1 Relic of Progenitus. And it seems like the only thing that you would really want to bring in maybe be the Spell Pierces. Doesn't do much against Devin's creatures, but it would, maybe stop an early Grim Monolith or a Trinosphere or, something along those lines that he doesn't want to have to battle back from.
Right.
Now,
Chalice.
Sure.
Now,
Devin, it looks like Devin might want to bring in the other Ensnaring Bridge after the success of last round.
No, it was Miles that had the Ensnaring Bridge last round. Yeah.
Like I said,
bringing in the Ensnaring Bridge doesn't seem like such a good plan for Devin if all he's getting attacked with are Thopters.
Right.
He's just going to have an empty hand,
right,
which he can very well do with his...
Now, Engineered Plague, on the other hand, seems like that could be really good. So, bringing in the Engineered Plagues is probably going to happen.
Does Koepke have... There's 2 copies of Phyrexian Revoker, which can stop the Metalworker.
Again, you're looking at...
Oh, now I'm looking at it with the
doing the same
switching.
thing.
Yeah, sorry.
We keep looking at the one. Devin wants to sideboard against himself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Because
he can use the Revoker to stop the Thopter Sword come.
That is true. He can do that.
Yeah, getting the decks mixed up.
Yeah, but
these are some interesting lists, though.
No, they're great.
They're fun to watch.
It's really unfortunate for Devin that the Ensnaring Bridge was already in his hand.
Yeah, he did set it up pretty well where he just drops Worm Coil Engine and double Lodestone Golem. Seems like a nice play in one turn.
It doesn't. Yeah, with 3 lands on the battlefield.
Right.
So
Metalworker does some good there.
Ensnaring Bridge kind of counteracted all of that hard work that Devin put in. setting up his big turn there. Yeah, Devin does have has Revoker. Does not have Pithing Needle. So he has half of what Yankee Dave was asking us about on Twitter. Here we go. We're going into game 2. Miles is up a game. Seems to have the advantage here, but I mean, he can. I mean, if he gets that, if he can stick that ensnaring bridge again,
that's huge.
It doesn't seem like there's much Devin can do to come back from that card, frankly. I mean, Engineer Plague will keep him off the Thopter Sword combo, but he does have Jace, where he can just start Fate Sealing away and go ultimate with Jace if necessary. I mean, Moat and Humility too on the board. Like,
wait, does he have Serenity?
I
don't believe he does. I don't see it in the list.
No. So.
So Devin starts off with a Wasteland Mox Opal, and Miles goes with the Scalding Tarn.
Most likely searching of a basic land here. Exactly. All right, so Miles is the first to act here. He's going to get his top down on turn 1. Vault of Whispers I almost said. Vault of Whispers from Devin will mirror his turn 2 play, but from game 1, but he plays a Grim Monolith. What do we have there? Opal? That is Opal.
Yeah,
There,
Opal is...
Opal came down last turn, I guess, and
yep.
then Trinisphere comes down as well. Trinisphere could be pretty good here. Miles now can't tutor for anything until next turn, at least. Which will give Devin enough time to maybe lay down a Metalworker. And he does have the Metalworker. And down it comes. Now Miles could, right now, play a third land, Enlighten Tutor, for the ensnaring bridge.
Yeah, that'll give him some defense, and the bridge will then.
But if he doesn't have a basic planes to use,
he's going to lose this.
He's going to lose it and not be able to play the ensnaring bridge.
Right. It's such a, like, it seems like that bridge is such a huge trump card in this matchup, and Devin doesn't really seem to have a way to deal with it. You know, like.
It looks like he could just go faster right now. I mean, he's got the Tundra, which is most likely going to get wasted, and that second Wasteland is going to make sure that he can't stick a non-basic land here. He's
here comes the Enlightened Tutor, right?
Or actually, nope. He's going to Swords.
Oh yeah.
He's going to Swords the Metalworker, and in response, we're going to float 4, which
was obviously pulled off of Forge Master and Mox Diamond.
Keep forgetting we have a Mox Opal on the board. That's off the camera, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I figured Forge Master would come down there. Forge match is going to be able to search up any number of fatties.
Forge Master's trouble if Miles can't.
Yeah, he can't stick a third land to save his life right here. It's got a volcanic island he's about to drop, and it's probably going to meet the same fate as the Tundra.
Right. I mean, he's going to basically be able to get the 3 out of it.
He basically needs the ensnaring bridge in his hand right now.
Or he needs to get bridge and
Raymond Holmes,
draw a land.
Do you understand Raymond Holmes for EDH number 8?
Is he going to brainstorm?
Yeah.
Does he not have a tutor? I thought he. You know what I mean? I thought he had a tutor.
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought you
He
saw
couldn't.
it.
Well, he couldn't. I was saying he needed a tutor. That was like about his
I thought
only
you were
out.
saying he
Yeah, I
had
wasn't
it.
saying he actually had it. And he doesn't even have the white source anymore.
Right.
Devin seems to have this game well in hand right now. Gonna get a second Grim Monolith. We are gonna ditch 3 artifacts, gonna ditch all his lands, it seems. Still has the opal, so he can still produce. I mean, he's got the Grim Monolith too, so it's not like he's not like he's manaless at this point. Oh, okay, he's gonna pay to untap. Or, well, I didn't quite see what he did there, but
I think did he just have double monolith in play? Both untapped?
I thought he had 1 tapped, but I might be wrong. Okay, he's gonna blow up an island. Yeah, this is going real bad here. He's locked him down pretty much with the Trinisphere. Some good good land destruction, and a couple big fatties there on the board.
Yeah, Miles is in trouble right now. 1 island in play. A top that really isn't gonna. I mean, it can help dig him further.
It's not going to be long before Devin just beats his face in, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's soon it's just going to be all about the beats.
Now, what is relevant, and I believe he has a Force of Will in hand, is that Miles has the 2 mana to pay. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. He doesn't need to pay 2 mana.
You were talking about Lodestone Golem?
I was thinking of Lodestone Golems again.
last
Yeah, I'm
game?
stuck in last game. But he has he has a Force, so he can counter something. But I don't think that Devin even needs to play spells at this point. He just,
Now he's just fighting, and Miles says, just forget it. Let's go to
Yeah.
game 3.
oh, wow. Good point.
Yeah, the Force would cost 3 with Trinisphere. That was what the good point comment was.
So Miles seemed to have game 1 in hand pretty easily, and Devin kind of came back to the same thing. So these guys are battling back and forth. Let's see who can get the edge.
They both got really, like, the potential for some really powerful things happening in
Right.
the decks, and that's what's kind of neat about both of these lists. They're completely, you know, dependent on putting together these powerful things, but once they've got them. Now, the funny thing with Miles, like, he had the Thopter Sword combo on board, which, of course, ended up winning in the game, or ended up doing the damage that he needed, but it was the Ensnaring Bridge that he had to combat Devin's Wormcoil Engine and double Lodestone Golem in game 1 that allowed him to basically survive to do that. But in this case, you know, didn't have this ensnaring bridge, couldn't find a way to find it, and Devin.
Well, he couldn't even get the mana.
That's what I mean. He didn't have a way to get there. He could not, like, apparently he did not have the tutor in hand when you were saying he needed a tutor. I think that was something that maybe even our listeners were confused. Because when you said about tutoring, I thought you saw a tutor in his hand.
No.
So I was trying to figure out why he didn't tutor, and instead he swords the what do you swords, a metal worker?
Right.
Game 3. And there's
Ready to roll.
let's see how much time's left in the round. 16 minutes.
Give or take a few seconds.
Right.
Right. Alrighty, right. What is he pointing at? Okay. They're picking up their 7. See what they like. We got the Trinisphere again in hand, but okay. Oh. Spoilers. Spoiler alert, there's a Wasteland. Not like he hasn't started the game with one every game. He does have the City of Traders in his hand. Man, he can go turn 1. I mean, depending on what Miles does, he can go. I believe he has the. I think I saw a Mox Diamond. If I did, he can go turn 1 Trinisphere, which again could just lock Miles out of the game. But if he plays the second land, he would have to sacrifice the city. But I think that early on that could be pretty brutal. So Miles went on a mulligan, right? And Devin has a Mox Diamond, he has a City of Traders, and he has a Trinisphere in hand. He could potentially go turn 1 Trinisphere.
That is going to be.
Now he would obviously.
It's going to affect himself.
It would affect him a little bit, but man, like, I mean, who knows if that's actually what he would do, but.
Whatever you want, maybe
Yeah, whatever. Extra cheese or something like that.
Okay. City of Traders into a Chalice for 1. And he's going to brainstorm a response. It seems like a good plan. So we did get the turn 1. We did get the turn 1 City of Traders. Okay, so Miles put some cards back. And then he forces the Chalice, which seems smart. But he also could have just been drawing out counter magic so he can do the Trinisphere plan next turn. Miles plays his Scalding Tarn. Like, I really think Devin would go. I mean, he can go. Yeah.
There's the Mox Diamond.
He's playing Citadel.
And there it is, turn 1 Trinisphere. As
turn 2 now.
Oh, I'm sorry, turn 2 Trinisphere. He wants to respond to that, looks like.
So it seemed really smart to draw out that counter magic. Ooh.
Miles has
There's a
force of will, but of course
it's a
that costs 3.
Yeah. A little
Costs
late.
3 plus a discard, and
He has no blue
no, he
spell
doesn't
in
have anything
hand.
up to, he can't play that force.
Wow, Devin's just shutting him down these last 2 games.
Yeah, well, it's not just Devin shutting him down. Miles' hand right now isn't really
Yeah,
cooperating too
it's
much.
not
either.
a very productive hand.
And
Staff of Domination comes down.
there it is. He's going to dominate.
Recently banned in EDH, as I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I guess recently, as of like 6 months ago.
Right,
At this
well,
point,
that's
but
not that long ago, really.
Still. Such a crazy card.
Yeah, so Miles building up a cache of lands there, but he's just what?
About all he's got.
Next turn he can play Force of Will on something. That's
Right.
about as much as he can do. Like, is that a Swords in his hand? Swords to Plowshares?
I believe so.
There's a Jace. Jace will give him some sort of options, hopefully. Drop the basic. Play Jace. Brainstorm, Enlightened Tutor, Thopter Foundry, Ensnaring Bridge.
That is Ensnaring Bridge. Ensnaring Bridge seems pretty good.
Well, it's again, we saw how well it worked for him in the first game.
Right. So it seems like this match could be a lot closer than you can get the Ensnaring Bridge down. Both guys are just locking down
Yeah.
to work on their own plan.
And there's a Wasteland for Devin. He's quickly tapping, using the City of Traders mana before he loses it. Yeah.
It's going to gain a life there off of the staff.
Right.
And Devin doesn't really have any. He has no counter magic to speak of, so other than chalices, but so now he's gonna begin to Fate Seal. Start working it out. Try to grind out a win with Jace.
That may be enough.
It's a good way to win.
If especially if he managed to get an Ensnaring Bridge down to protect Jace.
And he actually has 5 mana to hard cast Force of Will right now.
Josh Stark, please report to the main event stage. Josh Stark.
Miles with the win condition on the table right now. It's going to waste the Tundra.
I'm sure I get my decent uptake. So Enlightened Tutor comes for 3. Passes by Moat. Goes for Humility. How many cards does Miles have in hand?
Only a few, I think. It looks like 3.
Okay. I don't see why he would play Humility if he's holding Ensnaring Bridge.
Edgar Flores is 5-0 now.
First time I played this deck.
First time playing this deck. Wow. He's good at Magic. That
It's
guy.
true. now he's he's getting right back on Bertoncini.
Yeah. Sounds like he's throwing down the gauntlet right back at Bertoncini.
Uh-huh.
Those guys may be on a collision course.
They could even both be top 8 bound. No, I mean he didn't. He obviously didn't play humility.
All right. Well, it will affect the summoning titan. I mean, the sundering titan ability. He won't be able to blow up all his lands.
That's a good point.
That's brought to
He
you
does
by
have-
Sally636 on Twitter. Brought that up. Nice point.
Right, but within Snaring Bridge.
It can't attack, but it still destroys all his lands.
Right, but if he's got Jace for the win condition, he's just going to Fate Seal him to death.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe it's not.
Maybe that's
Still
not the
just
plan.
doesn't want to lose his lands, I guess. There's a cool dock of Forge Master.
That mean a
and-
hard cast force.
Yep. That's a Trinosphere under the Open Series logo, by the way.
But it seems like Miles is fighting through it. He's got the Jace out.
Jace just brainstormed into, I believe, a Sword of the Meek, Counterbalance, and something else.
I feel like I would just go to Fate Seal to death. But
That seems like a good plan.
right,
I'm not
he's
sure.
got Ensnaring Bridge in hand, but then he just
So he's playing like Gibo Counterbalance?
something like that.
Some sort of counter
Like-
or top.
A ton of basics, blue, white, splash red for like blast out of the board.
A Fire Blast?
Red Elemental Blast.
Red Elemental Blast, yes, it is.
And like Enlightened Tutor package.
Yes.
Yeah, don't look at the deck list.
So here comes Metal Worker. Which I believe he can swords, right? He has a swords in hand? Perhaps?
Looks like possibly got swords.
He can't swords it right now, but
Yeah, but he can.
he can also bounce it with Jace, but again, I feel like it's just taking him off
It seems like a very good plan to just play Ensnaring Bridge to keep Devin from being able to attack, and just Fate Seal Devin.
and he could just make a Thopter every turn to chump if he had the sword, but
Seems like he's got all sorts of options, but he's intent on brainstorming with Jace when it seems like the Fate Seal would get him to the win pretty
very quickly.
quickly and consistently. At least he's got enough to protect that.
Oh wow. Somebody said that Metalworker is going to be coming to MTGO next month, and it's probably a good time to stock up on Staff of Domination. So he is going to swords the Metalworker.
Your turn, Devin. We're getting a check on the leg totals now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone just tweeted that at us, but I had just actually heard Rashad trying to get that confirmation.
I mean, I guess Ensnaring Bridge. I mean, he's kind of stocked because of the Trinosphere. His hand is pretty full.
Right.
Snaring bridge might not be as useful right now.
But I think.
But I think it was useful a few turns ago.
Yeah. I just think, he could have at least bait sealed. I know he's brainstormed at least twice. Oh, and if that's the third time he's brainstormed, is that what he just finished doing?
At least.
Brainstorming? So, there's a snaring bridge.
Can't quite figure. Devin's thinking pretty hard here.
He's trying to find a way around that bridge.
Yeah.
And,
Miles has like a handful of cards though.
Right. Well, not necessarily just a way around that bridge, but I feel like just, he's got Jace over there. He knows Miles has a ton of options. It's funny because, like you said, it's almost like they're locking each other out, even though to me it looked like Miles had the, Miles had the potential for a win and maybe still does, but it seems like instead of doing that, he'd rather brainstorm. I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like he could have fate sealed several times now.
Yeah.
And protected that Jace. That's all you need to do. Protect the Jace and fate seal. Puts Devin in a position where he's got a 7-card library at most.
Right. He's almost gonna. It's probably the Jace is protected at least from this swing.
Time in the round. Legacy Open players. That is time in the round.
I have a feeling this is going to draw. There's the time in the round announcement and the time in the round my alarm. All right, shut up, alarm. I'm trying to unlock my phone to turn off the alarm because I was in the middle of checking to see how much time was left when that happened. Why did Miles not side out counterbalance? It's terrible in this matchup. Did he need a blue card for force of will? That's a good point. He does not have a second white source for the humility. That's something to consider, which may be why he's brainstorming. He's trying to dig for that, but it seemed to me that he could have just gone with, I don't know. Now he's in trouble because there's Sundering Titan. Now he's certainly not going to be able to cast that humility.
At this point, we're at extra turns, so.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to time here, or not to time, but a draw. Just as I understand, he was trying to avoid like the Metalworker Staff Infinity combo there, but I just it seems to me that he may have been able to protect Jace to the point where Jace went off, or even if he would have attempted to play a sword, played the sword and went Thopter combo, Thopter sword combo.
Right.
It seems like, he's got a lot of options that he just, this is just me. Doesn't seem like he took any of those routes.
Yeah.
He kind of really sat there not doing very much.
Right. It was strange, actually.
Right.
It just seemed like.
Apparently the plan in his head must have just have been different than the ones we were seeing. And
now, Metalworker going infinite. A Metalworker, when it goes infinite, gaining life, right? Now, if you're fate sealing with Jace, life goes irrelevant.
Matter, right.
And it's not like a loop that you can't stop. You know what I mean? Like now he can. He does have the counterbalance to force the wheel of the metalworker, but he's not even going to bother. Making a dude and blocking there. I'm not.
Do we know what turn this is? It's got to be.
I'm not sure.
I want to say this is. I want to say this maybe even
minimum
turn 4.
Minimum 2.
Right. Did he just let him take back his land drop, or was he? Oh, was he in mid brainstorm and
Right.
then made a land drop?
So now the fetch line comes down correctly. I feel like
Draft open number 2 players as time in deck construction. Draft open number 2 players, your pairings for round 1 are now posted. Please find your seats.
these players both seem equally
Equally playing to just not lose and not win either.
right. But I mean, or also just they just also seem like kind of slightly frustrated with this game state.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it looks like a frustrating game state from both angles. I mean, now this is a decent point. How if he did have the worker staff combo online, Jace's ultimate actually wouldn't allow him, wouldn't actually win the game because he could just draw his deck in response and then just put it all back.
That does make sense. You'd have to get to a second ultimate. Or, not even that. Never mind. That just stays out and just keeps going infinite. That's a good point.
Yeah, so he was trying, basically that's what it seems like then. That's what we misunderstood, was that the fact that that Jace ultimate wasn't a win condition.
Not used to seeing people draw their entire deck in response to a Jace ultimate.
No, not at all. So, so Jace was not a win condition. Miles needed the second white source to play Humility, and couldn't find it with all those brainstorms. So Miles was, while having quite a good defense, could not present an offense. And Devin, again, because of Miles' defense, didn't have much offensive power either. In fact, most of the creatures who've been playing up until now have been creatures in the deck more for their ability rather than their power.
Right.
Now, of course, he just played a Wormcoil Engine. And he did have Sundering Titan, but like I said, most of the creatures were like Metalworkers and
Attention
pulled off
players,
Forge Masters.
John Cook and Chris Carson, please report to the two-headed giant area. John Cook and Chris Carson to the two-headed giant area.
So he uses the Forge Master to sacrifice the Wormcoil Engine and get some guys that can get across that bridge. Notably, he's using worm tokens that are not our worm tokens. Oh no, they're over there. Hurry up, give them to us. Oh, that doesn't matter because they're getting
They're just getting
ending
the draw.
match. Yeah.
You made it seem like this.
So it looks like a draw. I don't think they concede it yet. 1-1-1. There it is.
Yep.
now they got to figure out which one's going to hand in the match slip.
The judge is right there. He'll take the
I
match
have a
slip.
feeling that would be the situation. So, wow, that was just like watching two beasts smash against each other. Two Tarmogoyfs take it, fighting it out almost. Nobody
budged.